everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and I am so excited about this video today. Okay, despite having a booktube channel, being an avid reader, kind of being a part of the community, having a bookstagram, I have never actually partaken in a readathon. By the time I hear about it and realize that it's going on, it's either almost completed or completed. This has happened every single year. However, my friend has turned me on to a readathon that is going on right now. So I'm still a little bit late to the party, but also just early enough to actually partake in it. So that is from the channel Book Roast, her Year 3 of O.W.L's Magical Readathon 2020. So this girl has put in so much work. I highly recommend you go check out her channel, check out her video. I'll leave a link in the description below. Basically, it is a readathon based off of the O.W.L exams in Hogwarts and Harry Potter. Her video will explain this further and include all the information you need if you too want to partake in this, although I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably already are. You get to go and choose more or less your major that a year 3 student might be interested in, and there's a ton. It seemed like she had about a dozen, maybe even 15 different things to choose from, and based off the course that you're going to be focusing your attention on, you have different requirements to fulfill to pass your O.W.L exams. Those requirements translate into certain books to look for and read throughout the month of April. And in case you never watched any videos on my channel before, specifically my reading vlogs, I am a slow reader. Just am. So I was looking more at majors, is that what they're called? That had the lower end of reading requirements. Some people that can do way more than that, and that is so dope. I am envious of that. Let me know if you're one of those ambitious people down in the comments below, but I am not. And I already know what audiobooks I'm gonna be listening to. Like, I already purchased them, so I didn't want to include audiobooks, I wanted to include physical books. And in case it is not clear, we are currently in the midst of a pandemic. I am in quarantine. Ohio is actually really strict about their lockdown, so I have no access to libraries, Barnes & Noble, anything like that. So I am basing all of my books off of what I have available in my home, which adds like a little extra challenge to it. Some of the things that I was considering were a broom maker, an astronomer, a trader of magical tomes. Like, these are so fun. They're so detailed. I cannot believe the amount of work that this lovely booktuber put into this readathon. It is going to be so much fun. And I know she's doing some stuff on Twitter, and Twitter's not really my thing, but I might make it my thing just for this month, just so I can be more involved. Okay, but the major that I have decided to go with, and there's some other really cool ones. My friend that got me into this, she is going to be a Hogwarts professor, but this one only has 3 reading requirements. And so it is The Seer. And I'll just read a little bit of The Seer's description. For those who can see beyond the ordinary, becoming a seer can be the only path forward. But of course, you already know this. You must have an open mind, heart, and inner eye. This is not a craft that can be tested by silly exams. However, many honorable seers do prefer if a person they decide to teach the craft has already had the following credits. And so what are the credits to pass your O.W.L exams? That is in Ancient Ruins, Astronomy, and Deviations. So then you go down to the O.W.L prompts, and based off of those 3 requirements, they translate into different things to find in the books you're going to read this month. So for example, one of my 3 requirements was astronomy. That translates into night classes. Read the majority of this book when it's dark outside. And this is already a book I was going to read this month, but for several reasons, I'm going to include this as my astronomy course. And that is Patrick Rothfuss's The Slow Regard of Silent Things. 1, there's literally a full moon on the cover. 2, it's a short collection of like little vignettes or short stories that take place from this one very strange, specific character's perspective. And the reason I like this for the night course is because I actually don't read a lot at night, because this is so short and it's like almost has this like very storybook quality to it. I think through the course of the entire month of April, reading this a little bit every single night before I go to bed, I should be able to get through it pretty easily. I mean, I could get through this in one sitting, but if I have to wait for the sun to go down or mostly go down, that's when I go to bed. I'm not a night owl. The next requirement to pass my OWL exams as a seer is ancient ruins, specifically the heart ruin, meaning that I have to find a book with a heart on the cover or in the title. You might think that sounds easy. Oh, buddy. And maybe if I had access to a library or Barnes & Noble, it would be. But this was such a nightmare. I went through all my books. I went through all the books I already read. There's a community garden behind my house that has a little library in it, and it looked stuffed. So this morning I went to it and I went through every single book, including the children's books, to find something resembling a heart in the title. I was even willing to say love in the title, and I even saw some zombie Marvel comic books, and you would think, oh, a zombie will have like the bleeding heart or something. Nope. Nothing. So what I decided to go with, this is the most romance lovey-dovey book that I own that I have not read right now, and that is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I also like that it is fairly short, and from my understanding it is a bunch of short stories that take place after the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, and it's all romance based. So I was like, you know what? Close enough. And my final requirement to pass the OWL exams as a seer is in Deviations, focusing on the third eye. So assign numbers to your TBR list and use a random number generator to pick your read. How freaking fun is that? Okay, so I just chose 5 books and I assigned numbers to them randomly. So that includes 1 for The Lies of Locke Lamora, 2 for The Gilded Wolves, 3 To Kill a Kingdom, 4 for One Dark Throne, and 5 for Sharp Ends. I haven't actually done this yet, so let's go to random number generator. Oh, I spelled that so wrong. So 1 for the minimum, 5 for the maximum. Here you go, and generate 4. And that is One Dark Throne. Okay, so this is going to be the book that I am reading in April, along with A Court of Frost and Starlight and The Slow Regard of Silent Things. So I actually think this is an extremely reasonable TBR for me to get through this month on top of the audiobooks that I'm listening to. So I will be creating and putting up weekly reading vlogs. Now it's going to be way more focused on this OWL exam stuff, and I might include any like community content and just exploring this Read-A-Thon world a little bit more closely. She said in the video that she would announce a 24-hour Read-A-Thon sometime this month. So I don't know if that has been announced yet, but I'm definitely going to partake in that because I am out of work for the next 30 days. But I've never done one of those either. So this is going to be a month of firsts. I am so excited. Leave your comments down below if you're partaking in this, what major you're focusing on, the books you've decided. Thank you so much to Book Roast for putting on such a wonderful experience, especially during this really challenging time right now. I know this is her 3rd year doing this, but it could not have come at a better time for a lot of us. Make sure to subscribe so you can see my reading vlogs for this month, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!